What up, fam? It's your boy, Slenderboy 2024, streaming to you live, as always, sitting on a park bench, talking about my ex-wife. I just saw a movie that is so good. It's not The Crow. It's not The Crow. I saw something else. I just saw a movie that's so good that I really want to talk to you all about. I guess it will be a kind of informal movie review. But something needs to happen first. I kind of need to set the stage, if you will. If you guys remember a while back, I did this wife reveal where I talked about Lizzie. I told you the whole situation with her. And you all love that. This is kind of a continuation of that. But yeah, basically, I wasn't always with her. This is like a lifetime ago. But yeah, she's actually my second wife. I had a wife before her. I guess I haven't really mentioned this before. Again, this was like a lifetime ago, but I kind of need to go into this. So before Elizabeth Olsen, there was someone else in my life, and I'll reveal. It will have an ex-wife reveal. So here we go. Yeah, this is Natalie Dormer. Okay, she's an amazing, talented actress. Probably best known for playing Marjorie Tyrell on Game of Thrones. I originally saw her before she did Game of Thrones. She actually did a show called The Tudors, which I highly recommend. That's where I first saw her. She played Queen Anne Boleyn. She was so good. She was so good on that show. I'm sure somebody kind of discovered her through that, and then afterwards she was given a role in Game of Thrones, and then she kind of blew up. But yeah, she's my ex-wife. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Look at that dress. I can't take my eyes off it. Oh my God. Oh, chat, help me out. I'm losing it. I'm losing focus. I promised that I would not lose focus. Oh, losing focus. Oh, okay. Bring it back. Oh my God. Yeah, no, she would, Natalie. Oh my God, she would wear these outfits. I mean, you see it right there, but she would wear these dresses with these plunging necklines, and I would just. You think it's like an expression like, oh, like, you left your mouth hanging open. Like, no, I literally have to like realize, oh, my mouth's hanging open. My mouth is like, my jaw is practically hitting the floor every time she like struts out, wearing this outfit. But, yeah, no. And then, of course, the chat's going wild. I see Ralph in the chat. He's going nuts. He just keeps sending me this. He keeps sending me this eggplant emoji. I don't know what that means, Ralph. Have you started gardening? Have you started your new hobby? He wants to talk to me about gardening. We'll talk about that later, Ralph. Okay, we'll talk about your eggplant later. All right, let's get focused here. But yeah, that's my wife. She's so amazing. Excuse me. No, I don't get that wrong. My ex-wife. Don't get that wrong. Yeah, this is like a lifetime ago. But yeah, she's awesome. And it's so strange to me because, how do I put this? She's one of those actors or actresses, where it's like they're popular, like everyone recognizes how good they are, like, oh, they're amazingly talented, and then they can't like find work, or you don't see them in anything. It's just like she's one of those, where it's like everyone who has seen her in anything is like, oh my God, like she's so beautiful, she's so talented, give her all of the roles, and then you don't see her in anything. I mean, yeah, she was big in Game of Thrones, and then after that, I mean, hell, that's kind of the case for most of the Game of Thrones people. Like, all of those people, it's crazy to me. Like, all of those people, like they were so big, and then the show ended, and then you like kind of didn't hear from them, or like they were like tiny blips on the radar. I mean, let's see, what's her name? Sansa. She went off to play Jean Grey in like those newer X-Men movies. Like, I guess that was kind of good for her, but yeah, everyone just kind of almost fell off the face of the map. Emilia Clarke. Oh my God, the girl who played Daenerys, like, I'm sorry, she's like the most overrated actress like ever. But yeah, she was like so big, and then her show ended, and then what happened to her? Like, what happened to her? She was in Solo. I don't know what else did she do? She was in Solo. She was in a terrible romance movie called Me Before You. Don't watch it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy to me that I'll get to these movies pictured here in a second, chat. I just kind of need to give a brief overview of this amazing woman. So, where do I begin? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into like a huge tangent about Game of Thrones, but it's like we're talking about Natalie Dormer, so like I can't avoid it. I can't avoid it anymore. We have to talk about this. So, I mean, I've gone on record, like, a lot of these like big popular shows just didn't hit the same way for me. So like, like when Game of Thrones was like huge and like, everyone was talking about it, I gave it a try and I just wasn't too into it. And Natalie didn't even show up until season 2, right? I think that's season 2 introduced her character. I almost said Queen Anne Boleyn. No, that's the Tudors. Who was she? She was a queen. She was still a queen. I mean, she's always a queen. Look at her. She's always a queen. Slay Queen. She was Queen Marjorie Tyrell in Game of Thrones. And like that's when my interest kind of perked up, and I was like, oh, in season 2, like that was nice. But yeah, so like that's why like I don't get it. Like everyone's talking about, like everyone was talking about, oh, Emilia. People were obsessed with Daenerys. People were obsessed with Emilia Clarke, who I thought was like such a mid. It's like such a mid. She was a mid actress. She's a mid character. Like Daenerys is a mid character. I'm sorry. Even when people liked her, and people don't like her anymore. The events of like season 8 happened, and everyone hates her now. But like I never really like loved her or anything. But yeah, people were obsessed with Emilia. People were obsessed with Sansa. People were obsessed with who's that other girl, Arya. And it's just like I don't know. Like as soon as like season 1, I'll forgive you, but season 2, as soon as this woman is like in anything, like in any show or movie, if you're like even talking about a different actress, like I don't know what's wrong with you. Like this is the star of your show, and it's crazy to me because I've seen so many things where Natalie would kind of like pop up, and it's like what are you doing? Like why isn't she the star? Like she was good in the Hunger Games Mockingjay, but she played like kind of like a side character, and it's just like what are you doing? Like this is the star. Like why isn't she playing Katniss, or why isn't she at least playing Jenna Malone's character? Like something. Come on, like she was just like a TV producer or something. Like are you kidding me? Like this is your star. Like what are you doing? No shade to those other actresses. They're really good too, but like this is your star. Like what are you doing? Anyway, but yeah, that was probably when she was at her biggest. She was like 2015, 2016. She was on Game of Thrones. She was in Hunger Games. That was like when she was at her biggest, and it's just like, she was always super talented, but like right after that, what happened? It's just like she did this horror movie called The Forest that I really like. Most people didn't. Got a lot of like really bad reviews, but The Forest, I'm gonna rewatch it because it's been a while. I mean, it's been a while for all these movies. Like I gotta kind of rewatch. But yeah, I mean, she's just one of those like same with like Chloe Moretz, who played Hit Girl and Kick Ass. Like any she's good in anything. Even if she's in like kind of a bad movie, she kind of elevates it. And that's the same thing with Natalie Dormer. Like anything she's in, she kind of elevates it. But yeah, The Forest is like kind of like my favorite type of horror movie because it's a horror movie about the I forget the name. It's like the Amigahara Forest. It's the suicide forest in Japan. It's a real thing. And so, like, I mean, it has a supernatural bend to it, but like, it's my favorite type of horror movie where they take something real and they just kind of, elevate it with like a supernatural element. So, yeah, I thought The Forest was pretty good, but most people didn't, and that led to a big fight. I'll never forget. We were just catching up. Like Natalie and I were just kind of catching up with drinks, and like we were talking, and she was she was in a good mood, and like. I just like ruined it because like I brought up The Forest. I've never seen someone's face change so quick. Like she went from like good mood, like ready to hug me, to like she's reaching for like the silverware. She's ready to have me executed by guillotine. She's like, I just brought up. I was like, oh, I saw The Forest, and she like she had this change, and she's like, and like, I was like, and I liked it, and she's like, oh yeah, really, yeah, oh yeah, you liked it, and I was like, yeah, I did actually. Like I'm not, and she thought I was like trolling her or something. I was like, no, like I liked it, I swear, like I'm not like lying. Anyway, but yeah, that was just like a sore spot that I didn't realize was a sore spot. Yeah, why did we break up? I mean, I don't really want to drudge up the past. I mean, she's awesome. We're still friends. Don't worry, we're still friends. And everyone's saying don't hashtag don't tell Lizzie. No, Lizzie knows. Lizzie knows about Natalie. We're all friends. It's all fine, guys. It's all fine. We're all adults here. But yeah, I'll just mention like yeah. I mean, to put it in perspective, I think you can understand if I was already like. If things were already not great, if I was already kind of on thin ice with this woman, can you imagine like, oh, it didn't help my case when I kind of wasn't a big fan of her big TV show. Oh, yeah, no, she'd come home and she'd be all, all chipper, and I can't do a British accent. I loved her British, like I love the way she talks. I love the way she trills her R's. but I can't, but she would just be like, oh, it's so lovely, oh dear, oh, it's so lovely. I'm so chipper today. I just landed a role on Thrones. Oh, darling, we have to watch Thrones. It's the greatest show. You have to see this. And I'd be like, oh, okay. I'm going to play Queen again on Thrones. And she, and I like wasn't that into it, but like, it was not good. It wasn't good for me that I wasn't into it. She never forgave me. But anyway, but yeah, where am I going? But yeah, Natalie. And can I? Sorry, quick sidebar, because I'll never have an excuse to talk about this amazing, beautiful, woman again. This is like a stupid thing. I mean, the internet has all these stupid like memes and stuff, but like there was like this stupid thing a while back. Like I don't get it. Like people. It started with people kind of pointing out that Natalie, I guess, like some people think she has like kind of like a piggy nose, like a pig nose, and then people like everyone was doing these things where like they were comparing her to Miss Piggy from the Muppets. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Like I don't see it. I don't see it. I have no idea what people are talking about. Like I mean, it's one thing or the other. It's either Miss Piggy is like way sexier than I remember, or you're not looking at the same woman that I'm looking at, because this is not a pig Muppet. I'm sorry. Like this is like the most beautiful woman like ever. I mean, aside from my wife, aside from Lizzie. Oh God, I don't want to get in trouble. But like yeah, can we? And there's always this running joke. I have to go into this, but like there's like a little recurring inside joke with me and her where it's like. It's been so long, chat. You guys probably remember better than me, but like there was an episode of Game of Thrones where her character, there was like a guy she was trying to hook up with or something, but he was gay or whatever, and like he was more interested in her brother or something, but she she like strips down and like she's like coming on to him, and she's like you can pretend that I'm a man if you want, or whatever. She said something like that, but I was always like, yeah, like if like he has to be gay. if he looks at this and is not interested, there's only one answer. I'm sorry. There's only one answer that makes sense. Yeah, he has to be gay. And in fact, like if there was ever a woman to like change his mind, I know that's not how that works, but I'm just saying, like, oh my God, this is the one. This is the woman that might change your mind. Like, his computer, his brain is like updating, like, you see like ones and zeros flash over his eyes. Oh, I'm updating the firmware. Like, maybe I do like women. Anyway. Got sidetracked. It's that dress. I can't even focus. Anyway. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, Natalie Dormer. So The Forest, that was 2016. That didn't do great. And then Natalie is so talented. Like, she's an amazing actress, but I remember talking to her. She always wanted to do more than that. She always wanted to, like, believe it or not, she wanted to, do more. She wanted to, like, write. She wanted to, like, write and produce her own movies in addition to starring in them. She's amazing. But yeah, this thriller, it's called In Darkness. That was 2018. So 2 years later, she starred in it, obviously, and she also wrote it. It's okay. I will probably it's been a while. I'll probably I have to rewatch it, and I'll probably do a review on it at some point. There's a lot to say about it. She plays this blind pianist, and it's almost like a Hitchcock type of thriller. She gets involved in this whole thing. Like, she may or may not have witnessed a murder, and there's all this stuff, and it goes back to what I was just saying before. Even in a subpar movie, she kind of elevates it. Maybe that's why I like The Forest so much. The Forest, it wasn't a great movie, but she's in it and she plays two characters. Actually, in Darkness, she's she might play more than one character. She's really good. She's really, really good. And the issue, and I kind of have to unfortunately point the finger at her, because she wrote it too. This is the first one she wrote, and the issues with the script, the issues with the writing. Her acting is flawless, but the script, all I can remember, it's been a while since I watched it, but it's it had more twists. Like M. Night Shyamalan would be embarrassed by this movie. It had so many twists. It just kept going and going and going and going, and it wouldn't stop. And I honestly had trouble keeping track of the plot, because it got to a point, where things just kept on getting revealed, and I was like, isn't the movie almost over? Like, this person was actually, using a different name, and this person, had a secret dead twin sister, and like this other person may or may not have been blind, and then this other person, like, she was an orphan, but like maybe she's like the, love child of this character, she's like the daughter of this other character, and he didn't know, or maybe he did know, and maybe he wanted to have her killed because he did know, it was like, oh my god, stop. It's just out of control. There were so many twists in like 90 minutes, I couldn't handle it. But anyway, that was the last thriller I saw. That was 2018. The reason we are here today is to talk about a movie that is not getting enough, traction, not enough press. A movie called The Wasp. I didn't even know about this movie. Like, I was just at the theater. I was at the theater seeing the Crow remake, and like, I'm just like looking at, and that sucked. So I wanted to see like something else, and I was like looking at other movies that were playing that day, and I saw like The Wasp, and then I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like a thriller. Okay, it's like a horror thriller. Okay, and then I saw the cast, and it's Natalie Dormer. And I'm like, oh, holy shit! I haven't seen her in a movie in so long. So like I'm down, and then so this movie. It had like no press. It had no ad. I never saw an ad or a trailer for this movie. It's just out, and the screenings are hard to find because I was looking at the show times. The Wasp, it had like a 10 a.m. screening. Excuse me, it had like an 11 a.m. screening, and the next screening was at 10 p.m. So if you want to see this, you kind of have to go at like an awkward time. And of course, like the Crow remake, there's like 100 screenings. You can't get away from those screenings. But yeah, The Wasp, like an actual good movie. Yeah, you kind of have to fight for it. But yeah, like The Wasp, it's just so good. It's one of those, I don't even want to say too much, but if you watch the trailer, long story short, it's about these two women, Natalie Dormer and this other actress that I've never heard of her or seen her in anything else, but she's really good too. But they were childhood friends, and I guess they had like a falling out or something. Like, they haven't really spoken in many years. But the black woman here, she tracks down Natalie Dormer, and she is, basically hires her. She's like, oh, I'm having these issues, and I remember when we were kids, you had like the harder edge. Like, I saw you like, kill a pigeon with a rock in cold blood, and I need to kill my cheating husband. So I would like to hire you. I know you're broke, and I would like to hire you to kill my husband because he's a cheating bastard. The movie throws a lot at you, and it's just like you kind of have to roll with it. And there are see this movie, it's like the anti In Darkness. they're both very, very similar. And I don't want to be too harsh, but I have to kind of call it as I see it. The main difference is they're both thrillers. They're both starring Natalie Dormer. They both have a lot of twists and turns, and they're both like short and have a lot of twists for being as short as they are. And one is much better than the other. The Wasp is much better than In Darkness. And what's the main difference? The main difference I see is that The Wasp is not written by Natalie. Natalie only wrote In Darkness. Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is she was kind of branching out and trying something new. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, if we just kind of stick to just acting in the movie, and then we'll have kind of a better result on that. I'm sorry, just kind of calling it as I see it. But but The Wasp though, like seriously, find a screening, watch this movie. It's so freaking good. The twist really will blow you away. Again, like I'm only telling you things that are in the trailer, but there's so much more that happens, and there's so many like it's mainly the story of these two girls, but like there's a lot more going on. Like, and both of them have it's one of those where like nobody is purely good or purely evil. Like both of them kind of have these two sides, and you're really not sure who to root for. That's all I can really that's all I can really say. It gets pretty damn intense. I'll say that. There's one scene in particular involving like intense bullying of this young girl, and it gets really wild. I kind of had to look away. It's definitely an R-rated film. That's all I will say. The other thing I'll say is that how do I put this? So Natalie is in this movie. She is a pregnant mother, and she has many children. She has like 5 kids or something like that. But yeah, she's pregnant in this movie, and they did a great job of I guess the makeup department or whatever, like turning this into kind of a past her prime, like looks constantly tired, world weary pregnant mother. They did a great job of making this look not as attractive as she usually does. So like props to the makeup department. Anyway, But no, and it's I need to give praise where praise is due, because we don't see this very often. Where how do I put this? I'm trying to think of how to put this, chat. We, in our media, right, we tend to kind of put certain types of characters on a pedestal, right? So like, and mainly what I'm talking about is mother characters. If someone is a mother, like they are like infallible. You know what I mean? Like especially if like it's a pregnant woman or a mother. You might as well, you might as well put like an angel halo above her head. She's not going to do anything wrong. Or this movie is bold. This movie is the first movie I've seen in a very long time. I mean, I can't even think of another example at the moment, chat. But like a character that is a mother and that is a pregnant woman who is, not exactly morally good. Kind of a scumbag, kind of a bad person. I mean, but she has her flaws, but I mean, she is still human. Like, she has her sympathetic moments as well. Both women do. Both have, very sympathetic moments. But yeah, she objectively, she's kind of a bad person. She does a lot of really bad things, and she's kind of a bad mom. And it was refreshing to see a movie allow a female character to be a bad mom. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like a fallible, or more, it made her seem more real. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, like even shows that I've seen, like Breaking Bad or Sopranos, where everyone's like a bad person, like a bad scummy pregnant mom, that's rare. That's rare to see, and you see that in The Wasp. So yeah, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, I'm already going over 20 minutes, so I'm gonna end it there.